Well, it is about 5:45 on the morning before Halloween, and I am walking out along the rim trail to see the sunrise. It's an hour before sunrise right now, so there's no light. I don't even see any light in the eastern sky, which is nice because the moon has set and there are lots of stars. So I'm going to stop shining this light in my eyes and enjoy the stars while I walk a couple miles out to Hopi Point to watch the sunrise. Walking along the rim trail here and looking down over the rim, these chunks of rock underneath the nicely paved path. These chunks of rock look pretty scary because it's just a black abyss down there. If I shine my light over, you can see part of the rim, farther along the trail, farther along the rim, but really we can't see much. Actually, that's not true. Let me turn my light off here. I probably don't need to. We can see that this sky clearly is brightening in the east now. Looking east now, I can see a very bright planet. I think it has to be a planet because I've been watching it for a while and it hasn't moved, so it can't be an airplane. Unless it's an airplane that's flying exactly straight towards me, but I don't think so. And there's another very bright star or planet slightly to the northeast. Probably a star. I've realized that even though I've only been walking for about 20 minutes now, but the sky has lightened enough that I've kind of missed my chance to really gaze at the stars. I've been walking along this rim trail path, which, although it's a really smooth path, it, as you can see, it's got a canyon down to the side of it. It's not quite smooth enough for me to dare to walk with my headlamp off in the complete dark, so I couldn't really look up at the stars. I was planning to, when I get up to, I think it's Maricopa Point here, the road that the shuttle buses take will be very close to the trail, so I was just going to step onto the road and walk up that, since there won't be shuttle buses running on it for a few hours. And if I walk on the road, then that's smooth enough and safe enough that I could turn my headlamp off. But I'm afraid I've missed my opportunity for that, because even to the west, let me turn my headlamp off here, even to the west, the sky is already a bit too bright to see a carpet of stars. I can see some stars. You can see a few there on the camera. I can see more with my naked eyes. But 20 minutes ago, there were a lot more stars visible. So, oh well, I'll have to wait and look at the stars next time. Right now, it's still a long time before sunrise, but if I focus my camera down into the canyon, which is just pretty much nearly pitch black to the naked eye, the camera will adjust so we can see some detail. But then if I raise it on up to the horizon, then it looks more like this is what I can actually see. Some of you might recall from the last time I was here 6 months ago in April, I did this same sort of walk out to see the sunrise here, and I learned a couple things from that time. I started an hour before sunrise this time, because last time I think I didn't manage to start until about 40 minutes before sunrise, and I had to run to get out to the Powell Point, where I wanted to watch the sunrise in April. And this is an uphill climb. It rises from about 6,800 feet up to about 7,000 feet at, I think, Powell Point. So that was a hard run. I am not in condition to run at this elevation. And then the other mistake I made was I was way underprepared in terms of clothing. Last time going in April, I figured, well, I just did not bring winter clothes. So I was wearing every piece of clothing that I had brought with me in my luggage, even I even pulled clothes out of the dirty laundry, and wore everything. I think 4 t-shirts and some other shirts and jackets. Well, I only had one jacket, and a hat. and it was just, the temperature was around a little bit above freezing, and there was a strong wind. So it was really, really cold. I have a video of that posted from 6 months ago. So this time I brought winter clothes. I brought the same clothes I would wear if I were going to go skiing at, 10 degrees above 0 Fahrenheit, or whatever that is, Celsius, 10 degrees below 0 Celsius. No, probably 5 degrees below 0. I don't know, whatever that is, Celsius. And so I'm actually a little overdressed right now for walking. I've got more clothes in my backpack, though, or another down jacket in my backpack. And I brought my yoga mat in the pack so that I can sit on that and not freeze from sitting on the absolutely freezing rocks. So hopefully it'll be better today. I'll be able to sit there. There won't be so much wind that my hat gets blown into the canyon, and should have a good time watching the sunrise today. And I forgot to mention the temperature right now is a balmy 47 degrees Fahrenheit. So, 9 degrees Celsius. So it's not nearly as cold as it was 6 months ago. So in the comment, there's no wind right now, although typically, in my experience, a wind will start as the sun comes up. So there may be a wind after the sun actually rises, but at least the temperature isn't too cold. And as I said, I think I have the right clothes for whatever temperature I get today. Now I am up at the access road to Powell Point. I'm going to jump back onto the rim trail. That is Powell Point right there. And it's hard to tell where's the brightest spot, I guess. Well, it's easier to tell in the camera. Looks like the sun's going to rise right there. So I need to scurry on down to Hopi Point. I think I've got maybe 15 minutes till sunrise approximately. So I want to get there before then. Well, I have reached Hopi Point with time to spare, and surprisingly some sort of bus just pulled up. I guess maybe they run a sunrise shuttle bus. I hadn't heard about that, so I got to walk out here. It was a nice, pleasant walk. I like to look, so this is looking west as the sun is rising, and I think that's the prettier view rather than looking straight into the sun. And it's definitely the prettier view on camera, because this is just an iPhone. It doesn't have any special filters for photographing high contrast situations like this. So it's not that great, but it's really pretty to the naked eye. And as I thought might be the case, the wind is starting to rise right now. So I'm going to put on my gloves and hat and my down jacket and settle down to take in the view. I can see the river down there. It's close to where I was yesterday, although I think the exact beach that I was at is blocked by the rocks. Although I suppose in a couple hours, when the helicopters start flying up and down, I would be able to tell exactly where I was. But as I think I mentioned in my video yesterday, the rocks down low there, those really dark brown rocks, they're so sharp. They're very, very, I don't know, sharp to walk on. It's a much darker feeling place than the layers up higher that are a lot of limestone. Those rocks down there are something much older than the limestone. Now the sun is just starting to rise, and you can see it starting to hit the highest points on the rim. So this point on the right is on the north rim. This illuminated point in the middle is in the middle of the canyon, and then these 2 points over there are on the south rim. There's the rising sun just popping over the edge of that point there. I guess that is, I don't know which point that is. And here's the view looking north, and then over to the west. There's some pollution in the air today. I don't know if that's wildfire smoke. It's amazing to see the canyon gradually be illuminated as the sun comes up. It would probably be worthwhile to just start a camera and run it for maybe 5 minutes from sunrise. It's really pretty. That was a special sunrise special tour bus, not the regular shuttle bus, and they are loading back up and I guess continuing down the road to tour the this side of the canyon. So I should have the view to myself again in a few minutes. The people were nice though. The shapes of the shadows are just changing constantly, second by second. Now as the sun's getting a little bit higher, I can start to see some shadows and some more detail looking eastward like I am right now. And as I just said, the shapes of the shadows are constantly changing. the shape of the, well, I guess it's rock. It's not really rock. It's soil on top of that layer of rock, but that looks really pretty to me. I just noticed this, I don't know what to call it, a higher canyon farther in the distance, kind of at the western edge of the Grand Canyon here. It looks pretty neat to the naked eye. I don't know how it'll look on camera. Now it's 7:30, about 40 minutes after sunrise, and right now the most interesting views are to the east, like this. I think because the air is hazy right now, so it makes for really interesting layers of the different fins of rock formed in the canyon. And to the, as I look to the north, the shadows are still pretty soft here, and of course still very pretty, but as I look then pan around to the west, the shadows are really sharp, of course, because they have the full sun shining, or the sun is, I guess I'm looking with the sun, the sun is somewhat at my back, so that makes the shadows much darker. I have left Hopi Point and started walking back towards the Bright Angel Lodge, and this is Maricopa Point. I had forgotten how precarious this point is. It's nice that they have railings here, because they really do go way out onto the tip of this point. And it is quite a drop down there. By Christmas time, this is maybe one of the better spots for watching the sunrise in terms of shadow looking that way. Who knows, but I won't be here then anyway. That is a string of mules heading down the Bright Angel Trail. I'm at a point, a viewpoint, I don't even know if it has a name, but it is facing east and has an excellent view of the Bright Angel Trail, which I have climbed up the Bright Angel Trail. Let's see, I've climbed up it twice and down it twice in the past 3 days, the previous 3 days. So that up there, one of those buildings is the Bright Angel Lodge complex that I stayed in. I think the actual building, actually I think it's, I don't know, it's, whoops, I'm pointing too high. It's in there somewhere in the trees, but very near the edge of the canyon. And let's take a look at the Bright Angel Trail here. You can see some people walking down it, although I would probably need to zoom in more for people to see it on the video. Anyway, there's quite a set of switchbacks there, which I have, as I said, gone up and down many times. It's nice this time of year. The steepest part of the Bright Angel Trail it gets hardly any direct sunshine at all, so it's just not very hot, which is a big help. These lower switchbacks here will get some sun, and the long, relatively flat area there, at least it looks flat from up here, but it doesn't feel flat when you're walking up it. That definitely gets some direct sun at, noontime. And let's see here. Down there, I can't really see the greenery of it with this light, but that is the Havasupai Gardens. And the Bright Angel Trail continues on down. The trail, actually, sorry, there's the Havasupai Gardens. It's hard, there's so much glare from the sun right now that it's actually pretty hard for me to see the view in the camera. But this is the pipeline. That's not a trail. The trail I walked down to the river yesterday goes down this canyon here and then drops off down into the murky gloom. Got some ravens circling around my head here. I doubt that you can hear it on the video, but I can hear the clopping of the mules' hooves as they're going down the trail. Now it's about 2 hours after sunrise, and the canyon's still really pretty. I am over almost to the Bright Angel Lodge, where I will pack up and check out of the hotel and get ready to leave Grand Canyon National Park. I'll do a quick tour of my room here. I've been, so this is one of the somewhat rustic rooms. It has obviously a sink inside the room. It's a bit of a mess because I have to repack my bags before I leave. And a bed. There is no chair. There is this bench to sit on, but no comfortable chair to rest on. And over here, there is a commode, a toilet. Notice that there's no shower or bath. That's because there are shared showers down the hall. So there's, I think, 4, maybe 5 of them. They're little rooms about the size of that toilet room. And so, for one person, and your key card gets you into them. It seems like a pretty nice arrangement. The showers are pretty nice too, lots of very high water pressure. And this, as I said, this is part of the Bright Angel Lodge complex. There are other rooms that do have, I think for an extra $5 a night, I could have had my own shower, but I chose to do this room because I called and asked them, and they said these rooms are the quietest, and this room was really quiet. So that was nice.